Alright, hey guys, what's up? This is Zach Hardy, and this is a preview that I wanted to do, and this is not my official preview, but it's my my kind of preview that I'm putting out before the official preview that I put out for the WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now this is pretty much going through a few of the matches that have already been confirmed, and a few matches that have yet to be confirmed that I think could possibly happen at Money in the Bank. They might not be hyped up for, though. I'm going to start with the matches that I think have a chance of going on. There are two matches that I think it's possible that they may be on the match card, and there's one that I think might not be on the match card, but it's possible could be, I guess. I'll start with that one, and it's Bo Dallas versus Damien Sandow. Bo Dallas would be making his pay-per-view debut, and he'd be going up against Damien Sandow. And being as Bo Dallas fought Titus O'Neil, Damien Sandow fought Big E Langston, or Big E. I think that considering both of those competitors will be in one of the matches, I think that may take place. I think Bo Dallas has a good chance of being facing Damien Sandow, maybe in a pre-show, the kickoff match. I'm not exactly sure what the kickoff match is, but I think if there were a kickoff match, I think it would be Bo Dallas versus Damien Sandow. So I think Bo Dallas would end up going 10-0, and I don't think that undefeated streak is gonna end soon. So, excuse me. Anyways, the first match or the second match that I think will happen, it could happen, Adam Rose versus Titus O'Neil. And Titus O'Neil pretty much has become a jobber. And for those of you who don't know, that many wrestling terms, a jobber is someone who constantly loses matches to make the other competitor look stronger. So, like with Rusev beating Zack Ryder and Heath Slater, he pretty much fought them and won, so that way WWE could make Rusev look more powerful and look stronger going into his next match. And so, with Adam Rose and Titus O'Neil facing off, I think it could be the start to a rivalry that could and possibly would have some kind of effect in the WWE, especially for their Raw and SmackDown shows. That could use some hype, especially considering they tend to use the mid-card for hype a lot less with matches, more or less with promos, which I don't have a problem with, but the thing with that is you can't really have a match, or you can't really see how well these guys are going to be going into the pay-per-view. So, if Adam Rose were to team up with somebody and Titus O'Neil were to team up with somebody, or they could team up again with each other and face another team, that could be a good match for to cause hype. Because if you were to have them face on different teams, which more or less may not happen, but if it were, then you would have Adam Rose and Titus O'Neil teaming up and facing another tag team, which would cause hype because then Titus O'Neil could possibly turn his back on Adam Rose during the match, as Adam Rose goes for a tag, and he just kind of backs off the apron. So you can build something kind of like that, and have this match going up into Money in the Bank. It's not a match needing a lot of hype, but it is a way to get Adam Rose onto the mid-card and possibly give him a purpose within the WWE and within his career, for the WWE, which is by giving him a rivalry to start off, which helps a lot of people's careers, especially considering they would trade wins in the rivalry, and to have a few wins in a rivalry to start off your career would be a lot of help going forward. And with Adam Rose, I would see this rivalry going Adam Rose's way, as in the match that kind of ends the rivalry. I think Adam Rose would win. And I think he could get help from his Rosebuds. I think the Rosebuds could play a part in this pay-per-view. And, excuse me. And I think that Adam Rose would win this match, because Titus O'Neil is not the kind of person to, take down Adam Rose in a pay-per-view, and also because Adam Rose is relevantly new, so it's a very rare sight to see someone who's supposed to be ranking up in the ladder and supposed to, is being pushed, as in being given a push to help, I guess to help kind of, how do I put it? I guess kind of help when you're pushing somebody, up the ladder to help try to get them to new heights and try to get them known and relevant. You don't normally see them lose. It's a very rare sight when you see a wrestler who is being pushed up the ladder to lose to someone. And if you were to lose to Titus O'Neil, that wouldn't make too much sense, except for the fact that it would make Titus O'Neil look stronger. And I don't think they would do that with Titus O'Neil, being as they're trying to get him to be a jobber, which is what it seems like. Excuse me. Anyways, I think Adam Rose would win over Titus O'Neil. The third match that I think will happen may happen. Rusev versus Big E, or as if those of you who don't know that their names were shortened, you've known them as Alexander Rusev and Big E Langston. So, Rusev this past Monday on Raw, or this past Raw, was at the White House mocking or talking about the failures of the United States. And, well, not Rusev itself, but Lana was talking to, which is Rusev's, I guess, manager, or I guess valet. She was talking about the failures of the United States, and some were true. Then she went on like her normal, every time you see her kind of talking about Russia is superior over the United States, and the United States will bow down to Russia. And so, as Heath Slater said, and got probably the biggest pop in his career to this date, if you don't like America, then leave. But, she obviously likes America because she lives in America, and it's just a gimmick. So, those of you who kind of hate this stuff, and kind of hate her and a lot of the other heels, it's their job. It's, it's not up to them. It's up to the talent, to the WWE talent. It may be up to John Cena with John Cena or Randy Orton. It may be up to them for their own, career, but that's because they're like the faces of the WWE. And like with Triple H, with Randy Orton, with John Cena, they're big names in the company. John Cena mostly. Excuse me. You don't really see them booking the talent, so don't hate on the heels all the time, and don't hate on the faces as well. It's most of them. It's not even their choice whether to be a heel or a face. But anyway, back to the conversation. Rusev hasn't been defeated, and Big E Langston, or Big E, is going into the pay-per-view, and I feel like this match will be made. Possibly will be announced on SmackDown, but I think the match is going to be at Money in the Bank. And I could see Big E having his moments in the match, and kind of like with Umaga, if you recall back in 2007, leading up to the 2007 WWE New Year's Revolution, 2007. And that was when John Cena and Umaga fought off, and Umaga was facing jobbers, but then going into the pay-per-view, John Cena looked stronger, and John Cena ended up winning the match, and it gave him more of a test. So it's not like you would see Rusev pick apart Big E Langston. I think it would go back and forth, but I think Rusev may win this match, and then I think they may go into a match at Battleground, and may end the rivalry at SummerSlam with a a loser leaves, or loser abandons their country or whatever, or their place of residence. So I think if Big E were to win that, I think Rusev would have to become an American, and then have to, or maybe the loser would have to be like kind of like the servant of the winner. So like Rusev would be the servant of Big E, or Big E would be the servant of Rusev. But either way, I think Big E could either win this match or at Money in the Bank, or the match at Battleground. But I think Rusev will beat Big E at WWE SummerSlam if the rivalry goes to that. Anyways, now on to the match. But anyway, I think Lana may have some kind of part in this match. But anyways, now into the matches that have already been confirmed. And excuse me. Excuse me. I think of the Money in the Bank match as a championship match because it is kind of for a prize. And it's a prize that you can carry around, not something like a trophy where you carry around week by week from Raw, like with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You had a trophy, but it's not like you would see Antonio Cesaro bringing that trophy everywhere. But anyways, into the first match. I'll start off with the Divas Championship, and we'll pick up off from there. Paige versus Naomi with Cameron in Naomi's corner. Decent match going in. If I were to get WWE Network, and if I were to watch this pay-per-view, I don't know if I would kind of invest my money all into this match, but I think it could be an interesting match that would be good to see. But either way, I think either Cameron's going to screw Paige, unlikely with what I'm thinking. Cameron's going to beat down on Naomi, which is what I'm more thinking, and B, I think Cameron would turn on Naomi just completely. But either way, I think Cameron may have a role in this match, and I think Paige is going to walk out still the Divas Champion, because I don't think you would have Naomi lose the Divas Championship match. That's why I think they're trying to make Cameron a heel and turn on Naomi. So I think if, let's say, Naomi were to beat Paige, I think they'd have a rematch at Battleground, and then Cameron would turn on Naomi and give Paige the championship back, and then ultimately leading to Cameron and Naomi at SummerSlam. But, excuse me. Either way, I think Cameron and Naomi are going to break up the partnership soon, and I think maybe by SummerSlam or at SummerSlam, I think you'll see Naomi versus Cameron. Excuse me. Or what they could do is they could have Cameron help Naomi and have her beat Paige, and then have Cameron turn on Naomi, and then have Naomi versus Paige, and then have at Battleground, then have Cameron come out and kind of cost Paige the match, and then at SummerSlam have Cameron versus Naomi for the Divas Championship. But I think more or less, I think Paige will win. If she doesn't and Naomi wins the Divas Championship, then I think that's what's gonna happen. Cameron's gonna screw out Paige at Battleground, and then and Cameron and Naomi would break up at Money in the Bank, and then have a match at SummerSlam. That's what I'm thinking will happen, and Paige would get the match because of her rematch. And so I think more than likely, if they're not going that way with Cameron, then I think Paige is going to win the championship. I think she's going to keep the championship, but then again, there's no guarantees with the WWE, and it's always a possibility, even if it's a very small possibility. So Naomi may end up walking out as the Divas champion and then face Cameron at SummerSlam. They'll do something for Battleground. Excuse me. Anyway, the WWE Tag Team Championships match. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan actually came out to a new theme song this past Raw, and it's pretty much the instrumental violin to He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, which is a Bible song or psalm. Anyway, excuse me, my throat is, I'm sorry, my throat hurts. Alright, the WWE Tag Team Championships, I see this match going in with not as much hype, but I think it's a possibility that Luke Harper or Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are going to walk out the Tag Team Champions, although I don't see Bray Wyatt walking out the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So I feel like Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are going to be the champions, and then Bray Wyatt is going to have champions as his disciples, which could work out to a new storyline, and have them be kind of like the Shield and go around trying to attack people, and, you know, say, my disciples are champions, you know, at what they do, or whatever, something like that. And I think, I think Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are going to be Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. So, and I think they could do a lot with the Eric Rowan and Luke Harper as the WWE Tag Team Champions. Like, they could have, as I said, Bray Wyatt talk about his disciples being champions, and have them kind of go around picking fights. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Or they can have this kind of like rivalry, family rivalry, as like you would have another Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper match at Battleground or SummerSlam, maybe. And have you'll have Bray Wyatt with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Bray Wyatt would be in their corner, and then at SummerSlam, and also you would have Rikishi with Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso in their corner at WWE SummerSlam, kind of like a family, because you got the Wyatt family versus the Uso family, and so it would kind of work out in the WWE's favor. I don't think, though, that it would, you know, Rikishi coming back would be as much of a ticket puncher or a like a put the rear ends in the seat kind of thing, because he's not like The Rock, he's not like Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's not like Hulk Hogan or The Undertaker or something like that. He's not those kind of people. He's not like Jeff Hardy, which personally I would love to see Jeff Hardy back in the WWE. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, they're my favorite wrestlers of all time, or CM Punk, you know, those kind of people. I don't think he would be as much of a revenue source as those kind of people that I've mentioned as examples. But I think it could work out in the WWE's favor, you know, being able to use rivalries to their advantage, and using this kind of rivalry to their advantage would be a good way to have a rivalry, which is something that you don't have too much of, and you're not really using too much of. But anyways, yeah, I see Eric Rowan and Luke Harper winning and becoming the new WWE Tag Team Champions. And now, the Money in the Bank match. Kofi Kingston versus Rob Van Dam versus Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose versus Bad News Barrett versus Jack Swagger. Just gonna go down the line. Kofi Kingston, I feel like he's in the match just to make it look exciting. I don't think he's gonna win, and I don't think the WWE is gonna do anything for him as a main event player. He could have been a main event player, but I don't think the WWE used him to that caliber early enough, and I think it's kind of a little too late now. I think they've kind of lost hope, and they're just gonna use him for the kind of exciting maneuvers. Like, I know in the WWE Money in the Bank matches before, he's used a ladder that was split in half, and he used it as stilts. And, he's also done that, like, boom drop from the ladder. And I know at the Royal Rumble and Battle Royals, he's almost gotten eliminated, like what John Morrison has done. He used a barricade to his advantage, he used the desk chair, he used a handstand, he used the steps and, you know, didn't get his feet to touch the floor. He's done something to, you know, not get his feet to touch the floor. But anyways, I don't think Kofi Kingston's gonna win. Rob Van Dam, I think he's just there for, I guess, hype, because he's been Mr. Money in the Bank before, and so I think, you know, having him be, you know, in the match kind of be like a blast from the past, so I think he's gonna kind of be that kind of, like, I guess, Pat from the past kind of wrestler in this match. I don't think he's gonna win either, because I don't think they're gonna use him as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I would have thought so in maybe 2005, but at that point, I probably would have said maybe. But anyways, afterwards, Dolph Ziggler. I think he's there for a crowd pleaser. Don't think he will win the match, but I think it's a possibility that he will have some kind of maneuver that screws over a particular wrestler. I'm not sure who it is, and I'm not pointing out Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, but he may be like that Mr. Kennedy to CM Punk when Mr. Kennedy got CM Punk off the ladder at WrestleMania 23 with another ladder, which is, the same thing that CM Punk did to Mr. Kennedy at WrestleMania 24. But anyways, I think Dolph Ziggler will be the one kind of keep someone from winning. Excuse me. Seth Rollins, although I don't think Dolph Ziggler is going to win. Seth Rollins is pretty much the golden boy now. I think he's the one, which is why Dean Ambrose is in the match. I think Seth Rollins is going to be the guy who... Seth Rollins may be the guy who may end up winning the match. I think possibly will win the match. And let's be honest, it's a good chance that he's going to win the match. Either that or maybe one or two others. But I think he's the most likely to win because he's on the Authority's side, Triple H's side, and I think him as Mr. Money in the Bank would kind of bring a lot of interest into the rivalry that I think the WWE could start planning for him, especially with Dean Ambrose. Maybe even fighting to one of those loser loses the Money in the Bank contract. Or the loser loses the Money in the Bank. And I think Seth Rollins will win the match. I think he will be, screwed over at least once, or maybe even tried to be, by Dean Ambrose, but I think he may come away with it. Dean Ambrose, I think he's there to also keep the rivalry going with Seth Rollins. Not many people really expected Dean Ambrose to get in easily. Even though a lot of people thought Dean Ambrose was going to get in, not many people thought as to how it would happen. And I didn't think you would hear the Authority say Dean Ambrose in that ladder match. But I think the way that the WWE wrote it on Raw was a good way to get Dean Ambrose in the Money in the Bank, because I don't think a lot of people thought Seth Rollins would be the one who asks the Authority, Triple H, to allow Dean Ambrose in the match. And I don't think a lot of people would have expected the Authority to say yes. He may win, but let's be real. He might not. Bad News Barrett, I think he may be in there for a crowd pleaser. Maybe so that way they can be like, I got some bad news for you. Or even have a champion in the match. But anyways, Bad News Barrett could win, but I don't see him winning. I see him kind of, Oh, by the way, I think Dean Ambrose may cost Seth Rollins, may screw up Seth Rollins, when he gets to the ladder. But I think he also may have a chance of getting knocked off. But, Bad News Barrett, I don't see him winning. I think I see him as in there as a crowd pleaser, and I think that's that, not much more. And Jack Swagger, let's be honest, I don't think he's gonna win. I think with Jack Swagger, his time has passed. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. That's great. Glad to see the guy got the championship before. I don't think he's going to get it again. I think he's just kind of somebody to put in there as, a filler. I think I see Seth Rollins winning most, because you can't just say who's going to win the Money in the Bank match based on who you think will win, because you also have to think of, if you're the WWE, who do you think you're going to want to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Do you think you see Kofi Kingston being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Alright, if I go down these names, imagine in your head them being the champion, them holding the championship belts, and what you think the WWE could do for them. Kofi Kingston. You don't see him the champion. Rob Van Dam. Could have seen him in 2005. Not right now. Dolph Ziggler. He can shake his ass all he wants. I don't think he's going to win the championship, and I don't think the WWE is going to want him to win the championship. Seth Rollins, you could imagine it. You could imagine him sitting by the Authority, and saying, I'm the champion. I can do what I want. Dean Ambrose, maybe once or twice, but that's in the span of Seth Rollins and his rivalry. Bad News Barrett, it's possible, but also you have somebody coming from NXT to start their career, starting a group and leading a group that demolishes the WWE for a few years, then gets taken over by CM Punk, then goes off camera, has a rivalry with Randy Orton, grows a beard, stands on a podium in a suit and tie like a judge, talking about how the WWE Universe is going to, have such a bad time in the United States. Kind of like a British Lana and Rusev. And then coming over to wrestling and winning the Intercontinental Championship, having a catchphrase, and that's that. Putting on an exciting match with Dolph Ziggler, that's that. I don't think you have him the champion. Maybe farther in his career, but that's after John Cena and Randy Orton and Triple H and all the big stars now leave. Jack Swagger, no. Flat out, no. If Jack Swagger wins, I'm going to put him on my deportation list. Well, either that or I'll try to call in for some help for his speech impediment. Either way, I don't see him becoming the champion. No. He'll make my deportation list. You know who are on it? Alright. I'll show it to you. Read the writing on my hand. There's nobody on my hand. There's nobody on that list. Jack Swagger, if he were to win, would be on my deportation list. And I'd probably go as far as calling deportation myself to go and try to get him to be picked up. And also, that real American crap, don't give me that. He doesn't even look like he's completely 100% American. His ancestors must have come from a different country. There's no way he could have been completely 100% American. Not possible. Excuse me. Plus, a little bit of a geography lesson. We're technically all brothers and sisters and parents and grandparents and all that, because we're all descendants from Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve are the first people in the world. So, technically, you have your mom, you have your dad, but you have friends from, let's say, your school or whatever. You have girlfriend or a boyfriend, whichever sex you are. You have aunts and uncles. You have your bosses, like I do. You have your coworkers, like I do. You have the people who give you such a hard time. You have the bullies. You have everybody. You have the police. All of them. And if you're the wise guy who tries to get out of, situations like a bullying situation, alright, I'm just going to get on my knees and order up in a line up in an orderly fashion. Let's get this whipping of the ass started with. You can't really go and wise your way out of bully situations by saying, hey, you really hurt my feelings by bullying me. I'd like you to stop, because then you're probably going to get bullied even more. So I'm just warning you, don't say this to a bully. If you want to deal with a bully, kind of go to a parent. Just let you know that. Go to a parent, have them do something about it. Don't do anything stupid, okay? Thank you very much. But we're all brothers and sisters. We're all related. Your girlfriends, you're related. If you're a female or... I'm not going to be sexist or be against any kind of rights, but whether you're a girl or a boy, your girlfriends or your boyfriends will more than likely be your brothers or sisters, but don't think of it that way, because I don't want to get you all freaked out. Your wives probably your brothers and sisters. But anyways, moving on. You guys, I think you guys could probably see Kofi Kingston, no. Rob Van Dam, no. Dolph Ziggler, no. Dean Ambrose, maybe. Bad News Barrett, more than likely not. Jack Swagger, no. Seth Rollins, probably. Kofi Kingston can jump around. Rob Van Dam can go back to 2005 with his time machine and try to rewrite history. Dolph Ziggler can shake his ass. Seth Rollins can be a dick. Dean Ambrose can go to the mental psychiatric ward. Bad News Barrett can go back to Great Britain. And Jack Swagger can go put himself on the deportation list, or I'll call deportation myself. Moving on, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match, or WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Kane versus Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio versus Cesaro versus Roman Reigns versus John Cena versus Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Kane, I don't see him winning. Sheamus, don't see him winning. Alberto Del Rio, don't see him winning. Cesaro, don't see him winning. Roman Reigns, maybe. John Cena, yes. Randy Orton, possibly, probably. Bray Wyatt, not really. Now let me go down through the line because I know what this preview is getting, and I think this is going to be my official Money in the Bank preview. Any other matches that end up occurring, I'll put them down in the either SmackDown review or my Money in the Bank review. But I'm going to go down the line. Kane, possibly in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. Possibly around that, you could see him being the champion. Sheamus, back in 2010, maybe. Alberto Del Rio, if this was, AAA Mexican wrestling. Cesaro, if he wasn't Paul Heyman's bitch. Beep. Roman Reigns, it's possible. John Cena, yeah, he's gonna win. Randy Orton, possibly, probably, maybe, meh. And Bray Wyatt, not really. Alright, so with Kane, I think he is a little bit too old. I read this comment, or this question. They asked, do you think Kane or The Undertaker will have one more major run with a major championship? I didn't think so. It's not really possible to me. So I don't see Kane winning. Excuse me. I think he's past his prime. Sheamus. Excuse me. Unless this was in. Excuse me. Unless this was wrestling in Ireland, then I could probably see him winning, but don't see him winning. Alberto Del Rio, unless he went under a mask and started wrestling for AAA. I'll be right back. Okay, thank you very much for being patient. Alberto Del Rio, I could see him being champion if this was AAA Mexican luchador wrestling. Dolph Ziggler, my bad. Cesaro, can't really see winning. Roman Reigns, I think I could see him winning, but not right now. Maybe in the future. But, I think it's going to happen. He's going to be the champion, but I don't think it's going to be now. It's a possibility, being as the way they ended Raw. But, it's not possibly going to happen. John Cena, yes. I'm flat out honest with you. John Cena's probably going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. He's probably going to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship because the WWE is going to be in this stupid mother bolt. And so, having him win, he's probably going to end up carrying the championship belts. Randy Orton, it's a possibility if they don't have John Cena win. And Bray Wyatt, I don't think they would want to have somebody who leads kind of this insane, or this kind of dark cult be their champion. So, run down the line. Excuse me. Kane, unmask yourself. It's not going to do any good. Sheamus, get a tan. Alberto Del Rio, move back to Mexico or you're going to make my deportation list. Cesaro, speak some English and stop being Paul Heyman's puppet. Roman Reigns, pack that punch more. Possibly not going to happen. Wait for a few years. John Cena, stop being a fucking asshole and give somebody else a shot for once. Randy Orton, make somebody kiss your bicep, go into the mat, all you want, punt them in the head, I don't care. Put on some pants and just deal with the fact that you're not going to win the match. And Bray Wyatt, get help, go home, I don't know, go to rehab. Kane, no. Sheamus, no. Alberto Del Rio, no. Cesaro, no. Roman Reigns, no. John Cena, yes. Randy Orton, no. Bray Wyatt, no. I think John Cena is going to win this match. Never give up. He's not going to give up, and he's not going to let the WWE creative team tell him what to do. So, anyway, that's that. I'll go down my list one more time. Bo Dallas over Damian Sandow. Bo Dallas defeats Damian Sandow. Adam Rose defeats Titus O'Neil. Rusev defeats Big E. Paige defeats Naomi. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper defeats Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. Seth Rollins defeats Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, and Jack Swagger. And John Cena defeats Kane, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Cesaro, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt. So anyway, guys, that was my WWE Money in the Bank 2014 preview and prediction video. Excuse me. Now, please visit Dalyxmans' channel. The link to his channel will be in the description below. Also, be sure to check out the UnitardZ official website, the official UnitardZ website. Also, please click that subscribe button. Even if you don't want to click that subscribe button, it's not like it's going to do you any harm. All you have to do is click subscribe, and you don't even have to watch my videos if you don't want. Just click subscribe. It's not like it's gonna be, you know, the main focal point of you if you want. It's not like it's gonna ruin your YouTube thing. Just click subscribe for me, please. And if you like these videos, I'll be posting out more videos like this. And once again, please just subscribe. I honestly don't really like it when people don't subscribe to somebody because they don't want to subscribe. It's not like it's gonna do you any harm. You just go click subscribe in the corner, or if you're using a PC, click subscribe at the top of my video or somebody else's video. Or if you're on your mobile smartphone, click subscribe underneath this video. Anyway, guys, yeah. You guys probably would like my videos. I'm not bad. I'll admit I'm not bad. So subscribing would actually do you some good. Sure, I'm desperate for subscriptions. You thought correctly. Anyway, guys, that was my preview and prediction video for WWE Money in the Bank 2014. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. Visit Dalyxmans' channel down below. The link will be in the description box below. Also, be sure to check out the official UnitardZ website. And, yeah. Also, be sure to check out the videos. Won't kill you, hopefully. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. And if you go to Dalyxmans' channel, please subscribe. And in his next video, leave a comment saying the YouTube channel UnitardZ, or just say UnitardZ sent me here. UnitardZ spelled UnitardZZ. UnitardZZ. Anyway, guys, tell him I sent you. So, that's it, guys. And leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to try to do a question and answer video, so your questions in the comments below will be very much appreciated. I will look at them, I promise, and I will pick out some comments or questions to ask in my next video, which will be my questions and answers, or my next question and answers video, which I'll hopefully be putting up soon as I get some questions. So please just take some time to subscribe and leave a comment. But anyway, guys, that's that. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. I am Zach Hardy, signing off.